So open the note, and then we will go over the note together. All right. And then later on, Miss Louder will record the note, and then she'll put the link into the, so that way everybody have. Let me try present this. Do you guys still, Miss Halbeck? Let me know if you can see the screen. Miss Halbeck, can you see the screen? No. Oops.
Yes, I can see the screen.
Okay, Miss Halbeck, you can see the screen. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, everybody got a chance to open the note, right? Okay, I got the note open. All right, so follow along. So we're gonna talk about global climate change, right? All right. So I'm going to present this. I can see, you can see better. So in the past, we would have played an activity in the classroom where I give you all the cards of different causes of global climate change, and then different global system in our planet, and some measurable changes that you can see. But unfortunately, we don't have that opportunity. But technically, I want to go over that these are the causes that we know so far that bring forth global climate change, right? Keep in mind, understanding that global climate change, you might hear people said, oh, I don't believe in global climate change, or some people would say, no, I do believe in global climate change, and this and that. We'll leave it to you, right? Our job here is in the class, is in science classes, to teach you to analyze the evidence and make a decision for yourself, right? I'm not there to tell you like you have to believe in this or else I give you a 0. No, this is all you. You just have to understand it and then make a decision for yourself. Okay. So when you get a chance, these are some of the, look at this slide. These are some of the causes, human causes. For example, freshwater use, right? Pollutants, deforestation, agricultural activity, right? We're growing more thing and more. Population growth, burning fossil fuel like gasoline and stuff. So those are the things that we evidence shown that it caused global climate change, and a lot of them because of human, right? For example, deforestation, right? Nobody cut down the forest other than human, right? Burning gasoline, driving car around other than human. And then this is all the in here, the second circle, that would be the global system, the biosphere, ecosystem, atmosphere, hydrosphere, right? We learned about this sphere. Geosphere, right? Geo has to do earth, hydro has to do with water, air, and living things, right? This is all the sphere in a planet, right? They work together. And then these are some of the data that we collect, the middle circle, okay? And if you look at it, you can see, for example, burning fossil fuel by human can lead to the changing of the global climate, right? When you burn fossil fuel, you release more carbon. Remember the carbon oxygen cycle? When you burn fossil fuel, you release carbon dioxide, right? CO2. And when you have a lot of carbon dioxide, that will lead to greenhouse gases. What does that mean? That means you create like a layer of gases that become thicker and thicker and surround our planet, right? And we know that because data show increase in measurement of greenhouse gases. And when you have greenhouse gases, guess what? You create ocean acidification. We talk about this beginning of this first semester. Ocean acidification is when the ocean become acidic, right? We know that anything acidic will burn or, right, burn you, right? You learn from physical science. Just imagine our ocean was neutral, and when you increase more carbon dioxide, that greenhouse gas create like a layer. So now any type of carbon that's supposed to escape our planet will be stuck. I mean, the gas will be stuck in our planet. It heat up the planet, and it also make the planet more acidic. And when the planet or the water is more acidic, all the living things in the water will start to die, right? And that's what we see in the coral reef, right? Life cycle trait, right? It changed the life cycle of different organisms. For example, yeah, you guys can look up online video coral reef. Coral reef is an ecosystem for a lot of fish to live in. But guess what? They are dying because of the ocean are acidic, killing them, right? So how this lie important is that you can see one thing human does not mean it affect only one stuff and that's it. It create like a domino effect, right? More carbon, more greenhouse gas, the planet got hot, the ocean become more acidic, and they affect life, living thing. Or agriculture activity, right? When you have, we remember the 11-hour video, when we have more human population, I mean, we gotta grow more crops, more meat, for example, right? That means we more meat, for example, more cow. Remember, cow fart, they produce methane gas, which is carbons, right? And when you have more carbon, more greenhouse gas, more ocean acidification, and affect the life, right? So you can see different things the human does not just affect the human, and that's it. It affects the planet as a whole, right? I'll go back to this. So that's the reason I want you guys to get a chance to look at it. We will probably have an activity that you show me how the different things are connected soon. So just kind of check this out. Okay. All right, moving on. And what we just mentioned is the cycle too, right? We talk about how our environment, our planets, you have things that recycle, right? Nitrogen, for example, carbon, water, okay? And of course, we know that when the system is a mess, these cycle might not work the way it is, right? You might not have enough bacteria to break down nitrogen. So then that way plant can take it. And when plant don't grow, then animal won't grow, and then that affect the human, right? For example. So that connect to all the thing that we learned, right? This is the carbon oxygen cycle. If we cut down forests, no more carbon, no more recycled carbon dioxide, that means no oxygen, for example, right? We're burning more fossil fuel, gasoline, oil, we release more carbon dioxide, right? So this is all connected, and it's again human impact. You often hear on the news people would say, "Well, there's global climate change, but it's not because of human." Well, I'll leave that to you, right? And you can see that like deforestation, right? I haven't seen an animal that cut down trees and like forests or burning fossil fuel and stuff. The only organism that I've seen doing that so far is the human. So keep that in mind. Okay. So today we're gonna talk about climate and global change. Too hot to handle. That's the term. Okay. All right. Looking at this picture, everybody get a chance, check out this picture, right? So the caption is the dinosaur, right? He's the president, right? The picture pretty bleak, gentlemen. The world climate are changing. The mammal are taking over, and we all have a brain about the size of walnut, right? So the funny thing about this picture is that what happened to the dinosaur, right? They extinct, and that's because they weren't prepared, right? So could that be replaced dinosaur with human? Could be, right? So that's something we need to keep in mind because we didn't think. Again, I talk about let's see. Okay, I talk about politician, right? By the way, this gentleman is no longer EPA. EPA is the Environmental Protection Agency, which is a department in the government that take care of the environment. And unfortunately, President Trump chose this guy, and he wasn't. To be honest, he wasn't so much for the environment, right? But he was the guy that had the protection agency that protect the environment. And he did many things. He also, remember, even our own president, right? Not very supportive of global climate change. But again, I leave it to you. You make a decision. So you have politicians that say, I don't think there's some wrong with the environment. It's just a natural cause. Things are just changing because nature changed. It's nothing with human. So keep that in mind as you often pay attention to the news and stuff. Okay. You also have many things, right? Report. Okay. Scientists here disagree about global climate change, or scientists believe that it wasn't a human or a politician, and so on. And again, you are at the stage where we are neutral type of thing, where we are still having 50-50. Some people don't think global climate change because of human, and some do. Okay, so that is where we're gonna come in and give you all the data, and you will be the one to make a decision on that. Right? Chat here. Cartoon. Oh, Juno, 10%. 10% is actually pretty high. It's actually 3%, right? Or less than 3%. So you have this whole planet, you have water, surrounded by majority water, but only 3% of those water are drinkable. The other 97% are seawater, right? Salt water, where we can't drink that. We know that, right? Because osmosis, it will suck out the water from a cell and will kill the living things. So only 3%. But if only those 3% of drinkable water are then being polluted by the human, right? So humans leave a very strong ecological footprint, right? For example, so we are technically the driver of change, right? And you guys know that, right? Anything we human do can leave like a big effect with the environment, right? Cutting down tree, right? We need tree to build things, which in turn we need to cut down giant trees. You guys remember from the 11-hour video, right? Those giant trees hold on to the water for us, and without those giant tree or forest, you have flooding, right? That's why you have increased flooding or erosion, like soil breaking apart because trees are gone. Big giant tree. Yes, we do have smaller plant, but those giant trees are what hold on to the water. Every time it rains, they suck in the water, they keep the water. So you can see that humans are the driver of change. And unfortunately right now, majority of us, we are driving the wrong way, right? We're changing the wrong way, okay? So why not just focus on climate, right? You often hear people, politicians on TV said, climate change, human climate change, this and that. So climate is not the only thing, right? Changing the heat or the planet become warmer or become colder in certain area, right? And climate is not the only thing. We know that, right? For example, water, right? We just talked about water crisis. Human pollute water. Right? We pollute lake. Remember, lake is where the majority of the surface water are found in the lake and river. But if only the country that they don't take care of it. Now they are running low on water. So it's not only the climate. So keep in mind, global, even though we say global climate change, that's because many different things are human caused. Okay, so keep that in mind. So here's an analogy, right? For example, right? For example, somebody who's sad, right? And that person is sad because not only one thing, right? It's not because that person worry about the job. It could be a work. It could be bills a person have to worry. It could be person is getting some sickness. It could be working overtime. It could be staying up so late, right? Like student does and don't show up to class, right? It's not just one thing that costs your health. It's multiple things. And think of the planet as an individual, right? It's not one thing that affecting our planet. It's multiple things, right? There's multiple things that cost a human health or give them the sickness. For example, COVID-19, right? We know that virus infect a person because that person's immune system is weak, and that person's immune system is weak not because of one thing. It could be many things. That person worked too much, too stressful, anxiety, right? Stay up late, right? So those multiple things would make the immune system weak. Or same thing with our planet. Multiple things make our planet weak. So keep that in mind, right? We talk about this. stress on the body, right? Our body work as a whole, just like a planet. It's not just one isolated thing. It's multiple things that will cause us to have a weak immune system, which in turn cause like diseases and infection and so on. Okay, so keeping that in mind. I'm just gonna skip this. This is technically talk about the same, right? This is data. It show that how people think, what stress them the most, right? Money, economy, work, and then which in turn make them feel weak, immune system weak, which in turn give them more diseases and stuff. Okay, so sometimes, for example, staying up late to watch TV or playing game, you might think, okay, I just lack of sleep and that's it. No, but in turn, it causes your immune system weak, which in turn allow bacteria and viruses to infect you faster. Right? Okay, moving on. So again, sometimes we have to remind ourselves that we live in a country that are very strong economy. We have everything we need, and we tend to forget, right? And we have the opportunity to be educated about global climate change, right? Just imagine other people in other country that don't get a chance to go to school. This is probably the last thing they think of. They just want to survive day by day, which in turn they don't get a chance to think of the future, right? Remember the 11-hour video, right? In there they said what makes humans special than all the living thing is that we have a brain and we plan the future. We have a plan for the future. And unfortunately, when you are surviving day by day, you don't get that opportunity. But a lot of us in this country, we do have that opportunity. So we should be the one that drive the force to help the planet. And unfortunately, our current government are not a big supporter of that. And that's because, remember, a lot of politicians are being controlled by big corporation, right? For example, oil company. So if the oil company, why would you want to go out and tell people to stop burning fossil fuel or gasoline or oil, right? So then you want to push aside the effects of oil to the planet because you want to make more money. And unfortunately, we do have the economy. We should be the one that driving force to promote supporting the planet than destroying the planet, because there are people that are not in that situation, right? And for example, this slide right here talk about the forest. As you can see, there's not a lot of forest around big city or big country anymore, right? You might see somewhere in Canada, Alaska, right? Maybe because ice and stuff, but not a lot anymore, right? We are cutting down to build city, right? And those forests in turn are the one that holding onto the water, right? And produce oxygen for us through carbon dioxide. Okay. Currently, 97% of the climate scientists agree. It's 97%. But again, it says scientists, right? And that's because we know that in science, you base on data. Unfortunately, that's still 3% that don't believe. Again, we leave it to you. I'm not here to convince you to believe or not, but I can present data to you. I think we have a few more minutes. Let's show the data really quick. And what is primarily the main data that show this? It's the carbon dioxide. Remember, we talk about carbon dioxide. When you have too much of it, it creates like a layer, and it keep all the heat in our planet, which in turn make the ocean acidic and make everything hotter, and it change the weather pattern, right? And if you can see that just from 1960 to 2020 here, the trend is still going up, more and more and more going up. And you will have people that will say, oh, that's normal. Carbon dioxide, if you look at the planet history, right? We've been having ice age, and then there's no ice age, and then ice age come back again, it fluctuate, okay? Yes, they are right. The planet fluctuate, change. But if we zoom in, 400, and right here, this is the average that the Earth planet have been having this same amount of carbon dioxide. Maximum it goes around here. But unfortunately, starting in the early 1990, we passed that average. And we are up very high now, right? And we can zoom in right here. We can go back, right here, same thing. This is the average of temperature, right? Average, even though things go up and down, yes, they're right. You will have people that deny about global climate change. They said things just go up and down. There's nothing to be worried. Well, if you look at this data, guess what? Right now, things go up and down, but what happened to this data here? It go way up above than what we've been having for thousands of years. And that's what we have to worry. Yes, it does go up and down. But then it passed thousands of years. Miss Hollaback, do we have to take roll, or you can see which one?
I'm fine. I
Okay,
took it already.
small number of people. I'm sure it's not that hard.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and if you zoom in more, you can see that yes, things go up and down, right? You will have people, politicians, a lot of them, but don't believe global climate change, would say, yeah, things go up and down, go up and down, go up and down. Yeah, it's true, but the overall pattern is still heading up. It's still heading up. That is the scary part of it. So it will get to a point we need to start right here. You zoom in, right? It's still heading up, even though things go down, up and down, because you have people say, hey, you still have winter, right?
Mhm.
Right now, in the East Coast, they are predicting there will be a strong snow coming in, and it's
Really?
close to summer. So like, wait, why do we still have winter? Why is we worry about global climate change, planet heating up? That's true. You see up and down, but if you collect data from the long run, you can still see that it's an upward trend. It's still more, right? And sometimes we need to look at a bigger picture instead of just a smaller thing. Yeah. And you can see how temperature have changed. Yes, throughout 30 years, it only changed by zero point 0.2 Celsius, in this case Celsius, right? Or Fahrenheit. It changed very small. So someone's like, wait, I wake up and it's like 60 something degree, and then by the afternoon it's like 70 something. That's a big change, and here's only point something. Why do we worry? Well, remember, point something in 1 year, and after 30 years, that become a permanent bigger number, and then 50 years that'll be bigger number. So if we focus on just 1.1 something small picture, then we don't have to worry. But unfortunately, we know that overall trend is still heading up. So our planet overall is heating up, and that's because we have this carbon dioxide, because we're burning so many of it. It's just trapping the heat instead of releasing the heat, right? And you can see the climate are changing and things are getting hotter, right? When things get hotter, right, you can see this is 1992, Greenland, right? A lot of ice. And this is 2002, right? All the red part are the part that ice had melt. And remember, those ice are drinking water, right? Remember in a water crisis, those are drinking water, are trapped in ice. And what happened when they melt? All these water go into the ocean. Can we drink water from the ocean? No, we can't, right? So that's technically we have less than 3% of drinkable water. Moving on, as you can see, it gets smaller and smaller. ICAP, right? And this is Florida right now, right? When those ice cap melt, guess what? Where do the water go? It go to the coast of all the country, right? Look, Florida, right? You live in the Key West, in the Key bottom part here, expect it to be gone. So maybe buying house around there wouldn't be a good idea in the future. Oh, this is China. Oop, I guess I didn't see it. Okay. And then of course, ocean acidification. I'll just skip fast, and then it will destroy the data, show that it killed the living things, right? This slide is very important, right? This is million years ago. We have so far 5, what do they call it, mass extinction. That means a lot of percent of living thing die off. Around like some million years ago here, like 500 million years ago, 83% of the species, living thing die. 75% die here, 96% die here, 80. But we are predicting that, hey, maybe there will be a mass extinction coming. Right? For example, some people might say, oh, COVID-19 is not connected as well. How do we know, right? Pollution, for example. Could that be a problem, right? Humans are polluting the planet, and they are starting to create more bacteria or viruses that are stronger and stronger over time, right? So that could be the effect. So keep in mind, so the point is global climate change is not just one thing, the planet heat up and that's it. No, it's multiple things that humans been doing, and that contribute to a bigger effect of global climate change. All right, so I'll leave it there. Miss Haber, any questions so far?
No, but I was going to share that when I was a kid, I grew up in an apartment in New York, and every floor had an incinerator room. So we put all of our trash, and there's a fire, and it all just went into the fire. I mean, so we've done stuff over the years that helped contributed.
Yeah, burning stuff, right? Bring
Yeah.
back the dioxide. So, and that connect us to really quick is so if again Miss Laura gonna record this video, so you guys can check out the video to review the note.